Hi, good afternoon. This is Gina Ann Costigan, and I'm with 50 and Fabulous, which you've learned through the trenches, sponsored by Main Street Mortgage. Today, I am utterly excited to have my friend and my boss lady, Miss Karen Cormier, with me today.
So
Hi,
happy
Karen.
to be here, Gina.
I know, we've tried to do this podcast for so long, and we finally have a chance to do it. But I mean, there's so much about Karen being not only a boss lady, and she owns his 2 franchises. There's just so much with team referral that we'll get into, and I'll let Karen get into. What I have to say is being part of a boss lady group, and I look back, and it was February of 2021 is when I first interviewed. And I remember Barbara Radke had referred me, and it was like almost an immediate attraction for me. I enjoyed who I was interviewing with, but when I sat in on the meetings, I'm like, this is a home for me.
Yes,
and
you know, because
and I know.
You've been in a lot of groups, so you know.
But it was a commitment.
Yeah.
Most of my groups meet monthly,
Yes.
so I had to really think about the weekly. And the people that I met and had the privilege of meeting, and then we had this little, like we say, this little thing, COVID happening. We got to come back, and then we had to stay back at home. Then we got to come back, and
Specifically 18 months on Zoom.
Yeah, 18 months of Zoom. I just remember, this is something that's real quick. I got COVID in 2021 in August, the first time. And I just remember these ladies. I didn't know them all, extremely well, except for really, just getting to know everybody. And they sent me this beautiful Grubhub card that I was to buying, food for me and my daughters when I was sick. But that was just a memory that, has stuck with me. And there's just not a lot of people or groups that take time to do that. Yeah. And I just wanted to do a quick shout out.
And I did when you said Fabulous and 50.
You fabulous.
I might be turning 65 this year.
Well, I'm glad you said it. I don't have
65. I'm card carrying.
We're gonna say you're 65 now, but I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Okay.
I learned today that you're from Encino. You're a Valley girl.
Yeah, born in LA, raised in Encino. And yes, an original, oh my God, Valley girl who hung out at the Galleria.
I love it. You were married a little bit later in life to your wonderful husband that I've met many times, Nick. And
that's Nick Cormier.
Yep, and you're celebrating it's silver, right? 25 years.
25 years, yes.
And you guys will be, definitely celebrating, having a great time.
Yes.
And you have a beautiful daughter, Olivia.
Yes, we do.
And she's 24, and she now lives in Portland.
Yes.
So exciting when your kids are off and doing great and living their best lives as a parent. It's such that moment.
It is just, we just wish she lived a little closer.
Yes, I'm sure. I always say it's fun to go visit, it's cool, but then yes, of course, you wish they were closer.
Yeah.
So Karen is an original entrepreneur. You said to me earlier you've never had the corporate job.
Never.
And that is something I learned today. You did decades of hospitality. Yep. You worked private events. You also lived in Maui.
On Maui, yes.
On Maui.
Yes.
Yes, you don't live in Maui, I guess.
People say that.
And Kimos you worked at, you told me.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite restaurants. I took a picture of it right when I was there the last time I went. Because the view, we sat outside, that beautiful view.
It was probably my favorite location ever to work.
Yeah, it was a fun place too, I'm sure, to work.
It was a lot of fun.
So you come back over here to California. What inspired you? I mean, all these years, and then you were inspired to become to join, I guess. You joined first, the networking group.
Yes.
So what was that, and how did that all start and evolve?
Let's see.
I'm bringing you back.
Let's see. I just went on a journey. Many years in hospitality. Never worked a corporate job. I went to Pierce College, got my 2-year degree in 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I got a general education in theater and psychology.
Fun.
To get acting jobs, you don't need a degree. You have to either get chosen or not. And psychology I'm still very passionate about humans and how they work as far as, personal growth and whatnot. But school was just not my thing. I'm the typical entrepreneur. We have a box, and I live everywhere outside of it. So that wasn't going to work for me. So, many years in restaurants, hotels, bartending, cocktailing, opening hotels, private events, catering, my own parties. I guess the common denominator is I've got a great love of people, and I have a great love of connecting, and a great love of just knowing all sorts of people from all walks of life.
Right.
I just feel like I can fit in anywhere. I'm kind of a chameleon that way. It's like I can just
see
love
that.
different kinds of people.
Yeah. You
And
are
that all enriches
a
me.
people person,
Yes,
definitely.
yes.
And I love people. That's just one of the qualities, when you look back and I've seen my career too. It's just the first thing is always people. I love being around people, and that kind of drives me too.
Yeah.
And just that innate thing that you have. It's either you have it or you don't, right?
And it's not for everybody. But
No.
Working with the public, even after all those years of, my first job was McDonald's. I mean, it's like I've done a lot of stuff, and I still find that 99.9% of people were lovely.
Yeah.
Every now and then, I had another thing of
I love that.
writing that 1% about, like, that book that every waiter, anybody that's worked in
hospitality
has those stories. But when I really think about it, most people were amazing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fast forwarding, you are a member of a team group.
Yes. Okay.
So when did that start, and where was that?
Okay, well, it's interesting. When I look back, I'm going to guess on time, because time's a funny thing. About 2008, I was a founding member of the Westlake Business Alliance, which is still with us.
Oh, we just talked about that.
Yes, the Westlake Business Alliance. They've been meeting since, I want to say about 2008.
Oh, so a long time.
So, fast forward, it was like literally a month before the shutdown. I had this idea, it's like, our groups are for men and women, right? But I also believe in specialty groups.
Right.
So I was really passionate about the idea of having women groups. So I started the Conejo Boss Ladies with my other business, which I really
Which
about
is doTERRA oils.
doTERRA essential oils, and I'm just really about keeping the balance, keeping us as centered and focused and healthy as possible. But I wanted to start this group because I was watching what everybody else was doing, and I missed being a member. So I thought, well, let's do this. Right?
Let's try.
The women groups, boss lady groups, really powerful.
Most definitely.
And I'm very happy to have you
as I enjoy it.
member. As a team member, we have a way that we connect, and I know we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but there's something about when you get women together, the power behind women. Because we're moms, we're business women, we're everything. All the things, as what our friend Glenda would say.
Yeah, all the things.
Glenda.
That is Glenda.
Right? That was what was born, the Conejo Boss Ladies. And since then, there's the Westlake Women's Connection.
Yes.
There's the Santa Clarita Boss Ladies.
And when I hear that, I'm always like, there's another boss lady?
Yes.
And it's funny that with this boss lady, because I bought the bracelet that says boss lady, and then we have our shirt.
Yes.
But I was going through the drive-through at Starbucks the other day, and the gentleman, I've been going to the same place forever, that's right around the corner, he goes, here you go, boss lady. And I look up,
Yes.
I go, how do you know that? He goes, I told your daughter one day you look like a boss lady. She goes,
my
she actually
gosh.
is a boss lady. She's in a group called Boss Lady.
Yes.
And I drove off going, how did he know that?
Isn't that funny?
I just was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Did
it's
he
just a
see my
different dynamic.
bracelet? Yeah.
Just a different dynamic. It's like, I love the men. The groups work.
Yeah.
But as you know,
Uh-huh.
we've been through pandemic. We've been through deaths. We've been through
a lot together.
all the things together. And we're just there to support each other, to lift each other up, because at some point with a group of 20 people, someone's going to be down, and we just rally around each
There's
other.
always, and people just go through things, and it's so
Yes.
nice to have a group of women that you can rely on.
So we have that as a basis,
But
but we
we're
also
also
refer a lot of good business too.
I was going to say we're
I was gonna say,
professionals
we get business
that
done,
refer.
have fun doing it.
Yeah, well, you don't just have fun, because I think that's what some people think. I'm like, no, this is actually a
it's
business,
fun.
and we speak each week. Individual. One member speaks each week about their business, what they're
Right.
looking for, what referral works. So,
Right.
I'm going to dive into some questions here. As a woman in leadership, what challenges have you encountered, and how have you navigated them?
That's a great question. As a somewhat type A woman, who's of a certain age, it's the work-life balance. I spent many years just in that fifth gear. The pandemic was not fun in any way.
No.
But it taught us all to we all had to slow down. There was
had no
option.
choice, yeah.
We had no choice. There was no running around. There wasn't go.
You had no option.
No,
I
there
work
was no
from
option.
home a lot.
Yeah, working from home is one thing, but it's like
Different.
It was totally different. So I think it really gave us all a time to hit pause and really look at our lives. And I was running around like a crazy person. I mean, it's like there's so much to do. There's so much to do.
I'm
It all
always
can be
amazed
done.
still how you do it. People say that about me, and I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh,
You.
no.
Oh, you. But I'm not the same person. If people that know
I don't
me,
either. I chill too a lot more than I
I've
used
had
to.
to step back. I had to really look at things. So the question about it's work-life balance, there's work to do, there's rest to do, and no is a complete sentence.
Yep.
I think boundaries have been the hardest thing for me. I don't like to use the word hard. The most challenging thing for me is finding the use of boundaries and how it really makes you a better human being and a business
also in your business, right?
Yes, because I can't do everything. I can't be everything. I can't be everywhere like you.
Yeah.
I'm one person.
Yeah, I'm one person.
Right?
So my Sundays are my absolute no's to everybody.
Good.
Except my family. I will do family dinner
No is
on
a
Sunday.
full sentence.
Yeah, no can be. Yep, it is.
I know. Right?
And I won't say no to my daughters. But no, just lots. I mean, I'll have coffee, but no running around. I'm not
No.
running around. That's
It's
Saturday.
It's okay.
It's
to
okay
chill.
to have you and be alone.
Yes.
It's kind of nice.
Yes.
To have that moment, and it for me, I had to learn it.
Yeah.
So I've always had, in my ear, and that took to where my daughter left,
gotta
and
go.
running
Yeah.
around and work and this and that, and I'm finally like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But it
So,
takes a long time.
work-life balance.
It takes a long time
it
to get to
does.
that point, though.
Yes, it does.
And life experiences too.
Yes.
What makes your networking group unique compared to others in our industry, or others in the industry, I should say?
There's lots of great networking out there, and I highly recommend that everybody connect.
Do it.
It's really important, and in person, not just on Zoom. We are what as you know, category protected, which means there's one person per industry.
Right.
Okay.
Which I really
and we meet once a week. Now, I can tell you that if somebody visits and they hear it's once a week, that's probably the biggest reason why people have to think about it. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. It's because we're not for everybody. Right. But as you know, when you meet once a week, you're really getting to know each other. You're really part of each other's week. You're really part of each other's life.
I think it's become so. I think that's why Team Referral and Boss Ladies is so successful, because we meet once a week. We are in each other's. It's like that Thursday goes and it's like, oh, we're here again.
Yeah, and you know how tight we are. Mm-hmm. That comes from a weekly commitment and also getting together outside of that. So there's some groups that meet once a month, once every couple weeks, once in a while. Perfect. It's fine. However, for the deeper connected relationships, being really involved with each other, the weekly networking groups really do work really well.
No, I would agree most definitely to that. And being not only just, category specific, but it's just that deeper connection.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's most definitely. What are your long-term goals for your franchise and the networking industry?
Long-term goals.
I don't see Karen ever retiring.
I don't need, well, that's the good thing. It's so funny. You get to this age,
and you get all these,
and you start getting
the
retirement and this, that, and the other thing. But my husband and I have a joke. We're not adults. We're just fun, loving human beings that like to be. We're young. So I'm going to be 65. I renew every 5 years, so I'm due to renew when I'm 67. What am I like what I do.
Right.
I get
and
so
you
much
still
joy out
you still
of it.
travel. You enjoy to travel.
Yes. And so I plan on keeping doing this, keep connecting people, keep having events.
And you are
keep
such a
great
connector.
People.
Yeah.
It's just, so what is my goal? To keep growing.
I mean, the connections and the connecting with the group and just the referrals. So there's a whole page on Facebook just to let everybody know that you can actually go on there and say, I need a plumber. And then somebody will go on and say, this person's a great plumber. Right. So it's important to have that aspect of referrals. Yeah. Because we all need it.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of cool about Team. And that's my biggest, I'm not calling it a challenge, but what I like. I've got these different groups. So I own Ventura County and Santa Clarita. Okay, and each group has their own thing. But within the team, people do different things.
Yeah,
and
we don't have a plumber.
Talked about, we don't have a plumber, but I can shout out a couple.
Right.
Am I doing it?
right, exactly.
But you're a lender.
Right.
Okay, so there's a lender in every group. But maybe there's something that this lender can't do that you can do.
And that's so important.
And there's just different things that come up. So I've got a group in Burbank. there's 2 realtors. When they first talked about it, I was like, because it was so different.
Different.
It works. So that's unusual, but
Hey,
2
it works
realtors.
for them. If that works,
Yes.
That's
Collaboration over competition every time.
Well, I always say too, there's so many in our industry.
Right.
I mean, there's enough love and deals to go around. I always say there's enough.
Come from abundant thinking. There's
That's
plenty
what I
for
said.
all.
There's
no
always,
lack.
there's.
Yes.
I'm not in competition.
No.
There's so much. I mean,
No.
like Peaches. I know Peaches very well.
Right.
I sit on the committee. She's
Yeah.
the head of it,
Yeah.
and I love Peaches, but she's been around forever.
Right.
And so I know the group she's in, but it's just there's no competition.
No.
It's just it's the way that we've been around. We've been around for 31 years. She's been
Nobody's
around.
going anybody.
No.
And we don't need to hoard.
No,
There's plenty
There's
to do.
plenty of love and
Yeah.
good business to go around.
Yes.
I feel the same way.
Absolutely.
What advice would you give to other women looking to take on leadership roles in business?
Do it.
Yeah. Leadership is
Leadership. Okay, so
jump in blind.
You know what's funny,
Both feet.
because right now we are in leadership transition, and
Yes, we
sometimes it's interesting to watch what goes on, because when you join a group like Team, at some point everybody's got to step up and do something.
Right.
It's everybody's team. Like if I'm the president of the
I was
group-
treasurer for 2
yes,
years.
you were. Thank you. But if I'm president of the group, it's not my group. It's still everybody's group, and everybody needs to take that turn. I love hearing back when people might be nervous about something, but it's like, I'm so glad that I did the president role. I learned X, Y, and Z.
Right.
It's really important to step up and learn. All of us need to learn something, right?
No, it's very important.
So I always say, some people are afraid of giving a 1-minute business commercial or a 10-minute presentation.
And that's-
at some point, and I know you speak in front of people, if you came into Team and you were one of those people that were like nervous, I would say, Gina, there may be a day that you want to be up in front of a group of 10,000 people. Let's just up it. At that moment you may go gulp.
Right.
But you never know what people's aspirations are. And I love when I hear down the line, because I've got some members that have been with me since 2007,
I love that,
2008.
yeah.
And I see where they started, where they are, and hearing what they've gotten from this makes me so happy.
And in our conversation right before we came in, I mean, I learned so many things too. And what some of the biggest, aha moments for you was people that were working nighttime jobs that, when they started and now their business really took off. That was something that you loved.
Oh, yes.
An aha moment. Or people that are deathly afraid, like you said, to speak in front.
Yes.
And now I see people in our group even that I know are the shy ones, and they're
Yes.
blossomed and
It's
bloomed,
beautiful.
and their businesses
Yeah.
totally taken off.
Yeah.
And that I've gotten to see in our group too, and it's just been fantastic.
Yes.
And I know for you it's an aha moment.
Well, it
has to be.
It is big, because especially since the pandemic, a lot of people have had to recreate themselves in different ways. So
Oh, for
here
sure.
they went from being like behind the desk employees to like all of a sudden, I'm starting a business. They've never like given a 1-minute commercial before. That's a whole thing about like learning how to do all this. It's not just showing up and like I'm in a networking group. We teach you things. Let's just use you as an example. So you're out doing your business. You're doing whatever you're doing. You're knocking on doors. You're doing mailings, whatnot. All of a sudden, so it's just you. But now you're part of a group of 10, 15, 20 people. Our group is 20. Where, okay, so I'm the doTERRA person in your group.
right.
I don't need to be a lender because I've got you. So it's important that I know who you are, what you do, how you do it. So when I'm out in my world, it's like, oh, Gina can do that. I've got the perfect person for you. Warm referral.
Yes,
Something that's going to be like, I've got the perfect person for you. The people in my world are going to trust me to use you.
And
I don't need to be a lender or a realtor or a financial advisor because I've got people that do it.
Yeah.
I just need to be skilled.
I always say I got a person.
I got a person. I got a person.
I got a guy.
I got a guy.
I got a guy. But it's so true because, being a lender, or I know that we have, a financial planner in the group, or it's just wonderful to have those sources
absolutely.
and resources of good referrals, because we want to refer people that we think that we know they're going to give them that same tender, loving care as we
Absolutely.
would.
Yes.
And that's we talked about is so important. That's our reputation. And our
Giving a
word
referral.
and referral is our reputation.
It comes back on us. So
It
we want
does.
to make sure that anything I give to you, I know is
Right,
going
it's
to be
in good
treated as
hands.
gold.
Right. And
Yep.
I know that if I give to you, it's more than gold.
it's-
it's platinum.
It's lavender.
Yeah, exactly. It's lavender. No, there's so many wonderful things too that I've learned through this networking group. I'm learning right now. I didn't realize that 2019 or after the was Boss Ladies that you just started it. You said in
We
2000.
literally
just
trying to remember.
launched
You didn't.
then.
You were
I
the
wasn't
first,
there
I know
though.
what, okay.
No, I came after.
The pandemic. We closed down. I think it was like March of 20 times.
Because I started in March of 2021. February was my first meeting.
We launched a month before because we launched and then we had the shutdown. So we started on
Crazy.
Zoom.
But at least you got to do the Zoom. But that's
We-
I didn't realize
Grateful
that.
for
till-
Zoom. Never used Zoom before that. Did
Me
you?
neither.
Had
No.
you?
Oh no. I'm like, what's this? What do I do? And I'm not following.
You're on mute.
And then I'm like, oh, I get to go undress from here up.
I know.
Oh, great. My
The
girls are
backgrounds and all of it. I mean, it was like
so many
we
things
can
we
look back
learned.
and laugh at it.
Now.
It wasn't at the time. It was like, am I ever going to get out of this screen?
Yeah, it
So-
got to be a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it can
but
be a lot, but we adjust and we're
talk
just,
about it. We learned how to pivot. Pivot's my word. We learned how to pivot.
Ugh, that's my least favorite word.
Yeah, I know, but we had to learn.
We had it.
But that's why I always tell
yes.
people in seminars too, like, or people that haven't attend, if
Mm-hmm.
you want to know more about Main Street or come to a seminar, like
Yes.
I know Jana did,
Yeah.
and she's like, Gina, I learned so much
Yes.
because they're educational.
I
And
love those events you guys put on.
Thank you, and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that about anybody, supporting anybody or going to anybody's events, it's just supporting and learning more and
Yes.
more. And I think that is just such an amazing thing that
Yeah.
you have created, and I know you keep up, and you try and go to all these groups that you are an owner of.
I know.
And I think,
I'm missing our group tomorrow.
I know, but you have other
Yeah,
other responsibilities,
I need
and
to, yeah.
that's respectable.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
yes.
what makes you a great leader.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm
Well,
so glad you're a boss lady.
Me too. It's been an honor and pleasure not only to have you here today,
you so
but
much,
to be
Gina.
a boss lady and just to be in your friendship as well is meaningful. So,
Yes.
high five to boss ladies.
Boss ladies.